Imagine this. The United States and China locked in a high-stakes race. Not for territory, not for oil, but for the moon. The next lunar landing could reshape global power, influence the future of space travel, and redraw the lines of dominance between nations. Today, right now, a billionaire private astronaut stands before the US Senate, arguing that America must return to the moon before China gets there, warning the delay could shift the balance of power here on Earth. But this isn't just a space mission. It's about money, geopolitics, and who commands the ultimate frontier. Welcome to ADID, and this is Moonrace 2025, setting the stage. Why this hearing matters. To understand why this hearing has grabbed headlines worldwide, we need a bit of background. After decades of dominance post-Apollo missions, NASA's goals shifted, budgets fluctuated, and attention moved toward long-term space research. But now, global competition is rising again. The resurgence of space ambitions globally, particularly from China, has revived the concept of a space race. The moon, once again, is on the table. Into this tense atmosphere enters Jared Isaacman, billionaire entrepreneur, private astronaut, and the controversial nominee to head NASA. His confirmation hearing today isn't just about his credentials. It asks about the future direction of US space policy. The stakes: astronauts back on the moon maybe as soon as 2026. A revived lunar program. New technologies, and perhaps global leverage. Story in chronological cause and effect. Origins. NASA's come back in a new space era. The idea of returning to the moon wasn't abandoned, but it lost urgency. As private space companies emerged and global interests shifted, NASA's pace slowed. Meanwhile, other countries, especially China, ramped up their space efforts. Satellite networks, lunar ambitions, and long-term planning created a mounting sense of competition. Privately funded space travel also emerged. People like Isaacman took part in commercial missions. Suddenly, space was not just government-led. It had a new dimension that created a perfect storm, a reinvigorated global race for space, and a renewed urgency for NASA to respond. Rise. Isaacman's nomination and vision. Originally nominated in December 2024 to head NASA, Isaacman's nomination was withdrawn in May 2025 after tensions between the administration and private industry. But in November 2025, the nomination returned, a signal that the administration wants a strong, private sector-savvy leader to steer NASA. Isaacman, a private astronaut who has flown twice aboard all private missions with SpaceX, argued that NASA must move fast. His message: returning to the moon is not just about exploration, it's about national security, economic leverage, and maintaining global leadership. In his prepared testimony, he called for expanded investments, including in nuclear propulsion and commercial space partnerships, to outpace rivals. Breaking point: the Senate hearing and tough questions. Today's hearing is more than a formality. Senators pressed Isaacman hard, especially on his close ties to Elon Musk and SpaceX. SpaceX currently holds roughly $15 billion in NASA contracts. One senator asked Isaacman directly, how much money has he personally spent on SpaceX missions? Reports suggest it may exceed $100 million. He declined to share an exact figure, triggering concern about potential conflicts of interest. Senators also pressed on timeline doubts. Can NASA realistically send astronauts back to the moon by 2026 or 2028? Can these lofty goals be met responsibly? Isaacman responded with urgency. This is not the time for delay, because if we make a mistake, we might never catch up. He emphasized that with the right leadership and investments, especially in nuclear propulsion and partnerships, NASA could reclaim leadership. He reiterated that a renewed lunar program would not necessarily sacrifice future Mars ambitions. The moon and Mars could be pursued in parallel. Fallout and stakes. What's at risk if Isaacman is confirmed? NASA would be steered by someone who straddles both government and commercial space worlds, with potentially deeper private sector integration. The lunar program could accelerate dramatically. Early missions, renewed funding, and aggressive time. This could reignite a global moon race, where geopolitics, national security, and prestige are at stake. along with scientific discovery. But the risks are real. Conflicts of interest. If a NASA head has deep financial and business ties to a major contractor, oversight and accountability concerns, pushing speed over safety, or private profits over scientific rigor. Uncertainty about long-term commitment. Will the mission remain about exploration and science, or shift toward commercial exploitation? Modern parallels and bigger picture. This isn't just a political hearing. It is a snapshot of a much larger shift. We're entering an era where space is geopolitics. The moon, Mars, and beyond are no longer distant dreams. They're strategic arenas. The US isn't the only country vying for dominance. China, Russia, and emerging space nations are all in play. Governments and private corporations are blending. The line between public service and private interest is blurring. That makes transparency more vital than ever. Science, security, and commerce are colliding. Lunar bases could bring economic opportunities, resources, tourism, research, but also political tension. Who controls the moon may well influence who controls future space strategy. If this hearing results in rapid moon missions, we may witness a new chapter in human history, one where the next giant leap isn't just for mankind, but for geopolitical power. So what does this all mean for us and for humanity's future? The race to the moon is no longer a relic of Cold War rivalry. It's alive, urgent, real, and global. The decisions made in Washington today could decide who leads in space for decades. Will it be governments, private corporations, or a hybrid of both? And more importantly, will space exploration remain about science and discovery, or become another venue for power, profit, and political games? If you found this breakdown valuable, hit like, subscribe to ADID, and drop a comment. What do you think? Should NASA be led by private sector visionaries? Or does space exploration demand a purely civilian, science-driven leadership? Because this isn't just a moon landing. It might be humanity's next giant leap, or its most dangerous gamble. Thanks for watching. ADID, signing off.